Hello everyone, it's time to do another deck profile, this time on the V Premium Liberator Holy Shine Dragon deck, or in my variant, the Bluish Flame version. Why? Because I like Bluish Flames. And ever since Percival got hit, I switched back to Spectral Duke, but with Holy Shine Dragon, I decided to have fun with the Bluish Flame deck again, especially because Holy Shine works with mainly Liberators. Yes, I've seen Holy Shine used with Gurgwit just for the imaginary gift spam, but with Holy Shine, it does fixes a little bit of the problems that the Bluish Flame deck is having because of the Percival hit, because Prominence Core needs Percival to be at full power, and with Holy Shine, that does add a little more consistency. So I decided to rebuild the deck in a certain way because I just like Bluish Flames. They look cool. They are my favorite Gold Paladin deck. But anyway, how I feel about the deck, it's just meant to be a fun deck. Nothing to be competitive about. And I overall have fun with it. It's pretty much the same as how my previous Bluish Flame deck with the 4 Percivals, but now with the Percivals hit, it does make it harder for Prominence Core to be at full power, but with Holy Shine, it does add the consistency to make sure that you don't lose it. But just do be warned that it is going to be a turn 4 play for the most part, because, well, you're not going to be a full power during your first grade 3 ride usually. But with Holy Shine, at least you're able to make decent plays. So anyway, to the deck, with which Excel marker would you like to choose? You could go either, actually. Just do be warned about choosing Excel 2. Excel 2 may be better, but because of the draw, you can actually deck out faster. And because Holy Shine, Prominence Core just cause a bunch of stuff from your deck, and you don't really have recycling in this deck, you can eventually deck out really fast here. So if you want just mainly pure power, just go with Excel 1, and if you don't want to deck out along with it. But if you do need to draw, do go Excel 2. But one more thing I have to say before I actually show my deck itself. Just do be warned, the minute the Percival goes to the damage zone or drop zone, you practically have to rely everything on Holy Shine Dragon at that point. Because Prominence Core is not going to be at full power and there's no way to recover the Percival. So just be warned of that. But anyway, to the deck itself. So first off, pretty much the main card now is Liberator Holy Shine Dragon. So when this card is rolled on top of a Liberator, cost count +1, search your deck for one grade 3 Liberator that is not itself and write it as stand. And of course you get 2 imaginary gifts from it because you write this and then you write the new Liberator. So that's 2 imaginary gifts from that. And then if you have 4 more damage when you perform this skill, you can choose 2 cards from the top 4 cards of your deck and call them to rearguard. So you also get a +2 on top of it with a limit break 4. You mainly focus on the superior ride part because that's the main part that you care about. And like I said before in the beginning, since you want the Percival its soul as fast as possible to be at full power Prominence Core, this kind of guarantees your Percival in soul because you're just going to superior ride the Percival majority of the time, so you could guarantee that in soul for the next turn. And that kind of fixes some of the problems that Bluish Flame is having right now because of the 1 Percival. But if you draw the Percival, nice, because now you could just superior ride the Prominence Core and then just call the Percival and still put it to soul with the Agalo. But anyway, second skill. Auto Soul at the end of the turn. If you have 4 or more damage, put this card to your hand. So you could at least do another re-ride if you need to do another fixing of a ride. Either way, it's very nice. You mainly focus on the first skill, but the fact that you can return it back to your hand, and just in case you do need to fix your ride, you have that as well. That's why this card is actually the most important card of the deck right now, because of the fixing ride problem. And speaking of Percival, you have to run the 1 Percival because this is Bluish Flame we're talking about, and you can only run 1 because you need it in soul. Holy Shine can guarantee that in soul as long as it's in your deck or as long as you drew it. So as long as it doesn't go to the damage zone, you are good. But the skill is all your additional rear guards get +5k. That's fine. You mainly use it for the second skill where it's placed on Vanguard rear guard. You can counter +1, discard a card, and then get an imaginary gift Excel along with a superior call of an Aglovell from your deck or drop zone. But this skill is a little hard once per turn, but that doesn't matter because you can only really run 1 unless you bounce it back to hand and call it again, but that doesn't happen in this deck. This is just basically a staple of Gold Paladin, so you obviously have to run it. It's just unfortunate that it's been hit with the Bluish Flame archetype as well because Bluish Flames desperately need this card. Holy Shine only fixes some of its problems, but it doesn't really fix all of its problems because, like I said before, if it goes to damage zone, you're fucked. And because this is a Bluish Flame deck, I run the 4 Prominence Core. Because Prominence Core, where you can counterblast 1, retire a rearguard, look at top 4 cards of the deck and choose 2 from among them and call them to rearguard. But if you have Percival in Soul, that's why the Holy Shine Dragon has become important, because you want to put that Percival into Soul, you can call 4 cards instead. Yeah, that's like generating a lot of value right there. That's why I like it, and also it looks cool. But the second skill is where it generates even more value, where when a rearguard is placed, that rearguard, along with itself, gets plus 3k power. And if that card happens to be Aglavel, this crit becomes 2. So unfortunately, you can't stack the crits. But crit of 2 is good pressure, and the power does stack on itself. So more rearguards you call, plus 3k, plus 3k, plus 3k. First skill already calls 4, that's plus 12k already. So just value right there, and that's why I love it. So that's it for the grade 3 lineup. To the grade 2 lineup, you obviously have to run the 4 Aglavels because, well, you want your partner in crime with your main Vanguard. So obviously you have to run the 4 Aglavels for that reason for one, and Percival reasons as well. But anyway, to the skill where when it's placed on Vanguard, counterblast 1, look at top 3 to call 1 card from among them. That's fine, you're going to be using that actually because you want the Holy Shine Dragon to ride on top of a Liberator, and this is a Liberator's, and this is your main grade 2 ride target. Anyway, to the second skill, when this card attacks, put another rearguard to Soul, on rearguard by the way, and this card gets plus 10k power to the end turn, and then this goes back to the hand. What's important is that you can put a rearguard to Soul. If you actually manage to draw your Percival and call it while riding your Prominence Core, you can technically get your Prominence Core at full power right off the bat, because this can just put the Percival to Soul without needing to ride it, and that is pretty important right there. But the other thing is that it can clear up your field. That's what you want for Prominence Core, because Prominence Core is going to be calling a lot more stuff. Holy Shine Dragon will be calling a lot more stuff just by riding it. Either way, this is a deck where you want to be clearing up your field so you can call more stuff without losing value. And this is a good beater as well, so obviously another reason why you should be using this, and Prominence Core crit of 2. Continue off. At the moment, you're gonna unfortunately have to run Liberator of Royalty Fallon. Mainly because it's a Liberator, and you don't want to run Ascarad, which is the third Liberator, but not for this deck, because that one is for Aggravate. So you use this because it's a generic Liberator, and that's actually the main reason. But it's also a 15k beater on rearguard if a rearguard was placed from your deck this turn, which is guaranteed to happen through Gold Paladin means. And if it attack hits, you can call the top card of your deck to the rearguard, of course. So it could get an extra pressure attack if you want. It is a decent beater, so why not? But what's important is that it's a Liberator, so basically it's a backup grade 2 ride target. And 8 Liberators is a pretty good number for ride targets, because you want to get a Liberator on your grade 2 turn so you could get Holy Shine Dragon as soon as you can. And then for my last grade 2, you could use Vortimer if you want instead of this, but Boringarta is a fine card, where when it's placed by card ability, you can choose one of these following abilities. Counterblast 1 to Soul Charge 1, that's not going to happen, or Soul Blast 1 to Countercharge 1. That is more likely to happen. But either way, if you need a certain resource, it's here. So that's it for my grade 2s to the grade 1s. First off, Fast Chase Liberator Joseph, your main grade 1 ride target, where when rolled upon you can call the top card of your deck. That's fine. Second skill, when placed from rearguard from your deck, all my cards are called from deck anyway, so that's fine. Soul Blast 1, Countercharge 1, then you can Soul Blast another card to draw a card. You're probably not going to do the draw of the card, but the Countercharge is kind of guaranteed to happen. Next, this one is going to be cut to 2 of once I get a certain card, but for now, I'm running 4 Din Drains because I am missing 2 copies of a certain card. So when placed by card ability, it's the same thing as Joseph, except that it's by any card ability, so it doesn't have to be just from deck. But this one also lets you choose which effect you want to do. You can Soul Blast 1 to either draw a card or Countercharge 1 plus 3k. It's either one that you want to do, and sometimes the draw does help depending on what scenario you're on. But personally, I just stick with Joseph because you're going to be calling from deck anyway, and that one's the right target. And this is just here as just more plussing if you want to use it. But I am going to cut this down to 2. Next, 2 Herd Archer's Biscot. This was used to be one of my ways to get more calls, get a Percival as soon as I can. But now it's just here to really just get more pluses. And if you do get the Percival as soon as you can, it is nice as well. Because it's an axe skill once per turn, where you can Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, look at top 3 to call 1 card from among them to rearguard, but the rest at the bottom. It's fine, just another plus engine, and it does help. Getting stuff to Soul is really easy, Counterblast hasn't been too much of an issue, and you do have good amount of countercharging, so this is pretty decent to run. Now, the 2 copies of Dinger that I am definitely going to be replacing for is getting 4 grade 3 searchers. Why? Because Percival is hit to 1 and you want to get Percival as soon as you can. And you also have another important target, that being Holy Shine Dragon. If you can't get Percival, Holy Shine Dragon is going to be your backup to get your Percival. You want to see one of those 2 cards as soon as you can. And that's why I'm going to run 4 grade 3 searchers for this deck. And also because they're 13k beaters, which is also not bad. That's it for the grade 1 lineup. Here's my starter, Spring Breeze Messenger. Choose whatever you want. And now, 8 crits, 4 draw PGs. You can switch out for crit Sentinels and then play fronts if you want, if you don't want to risk decking out. And finally, the 4 heal Guardians. So that's it for this deck profile on my Bluish Flame Holy Shine Dragon Liberator deck, or whatever you like to call it. What do you guys think of it? What other cards would you recommend? This deck overall is very generic other than the Liberator part with Holy Shine Dragon, but practically you could pretty much run anything. You could run Kaiden and Hoel if you want more power, but you kind of lack a little bit of space, so I kind of would recommend other means. So if there's any other good cards that I kind of miss, or what other recommendations that you guys would suggest to make the deck better or to make me try out, go right ahead and put it down, because I might have missed some stuff, but this is what I found for now, and so far I've been liking it. But other than that, that's really all I have to say about this deck, other than the fact that I like Bluish Flames and it just looks cool. Still waiting for Prominence Glare, and hopefully we get Percival unhit for Bluish Flames overall, because Bluish Flames is my favorite Gold Paladin Archetype, or at least errata it to only Bluish Flames. But anyway, that's it for this, and see you all next time.